Good morning, it's Friday, June 19th, and we're about to head up to North Dakota and get charged up. Good evening. If you're familiar with the channel, you might recognize this as my road trip outfit. It's about 2 in the morning, and we are going to take off tomorrow morning, and naturally, we're still packing the car, just wrapped up some work things that needed to be finished, but that's the way things always go. This is just going to be a long weekend trip, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to drive up to Bismarck, North Dakota tomorrow, spend the night there at a hotel that has a slow charger, and then head on to Dickinson. That's where they're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony for the new supercharger that just came online. We'll also be stopping in Jamestown, and there's a new supercharger that's live there. So, lots of new experiences. I haven't been to North Dakota since I was in high school practically, so it's going to be a lot of fun exploring with the time we have, meeting some of the folks up in North Dakota who are really the pioneers of owning an EV in difficult situations. So I'm excited to talk to them and hear some of those experiences from the early days before the superchargers were live. So we're hoping for a good weather, a nice drive, some new experiences at some new chargers, and maybe see some great sights along the way. But now it's time to finish packing up, get to bed, and be ready to roll in the morning. I'll catch you then. John, are you ready for adventures? We're just leaving Clearwater, and we picked up 15% while we used the bathroom and got a snack quick. But now we're on our way. Our next stop will be Alexandria. We started just below 70% and got up to 85. Didn't really need to stop here, but our bladders did. In Alexandria, there's some what I call productive icing. With this supercharger just coming online in the spring, it was time to fix and improve the landscaping. The crew was friendly and left us plenty of space to charge. After another restroom and then lunch break, we were on our way to Fargo. Welcome to Fargo, North Dakota, and the 8-stall supercharger, version 3, so that's 250 kilowatt. Now right now, this is just opened and only 4 stalls seem to be active. The stall in the corner of the parking lot, it looks like it was supposed to be a pull-in stall, but they put it in line with the rest of them. I'll show some B-roll of that now. And it makes it very difficult to back into it. In fact, I think you kind of have to back in over the curb a little bit to get that to fit. So that's probably going to be the last one to fill in, and that means that there isn't a pull-in stall here without blocking in some other chargers. So just something to be aware of. It's a beautiful day for driving, a little bit of wind, but some nice puffy Bob Ross clouds in the sky. and just the prairie stretching out before us. So this is a perfect kind of road trip day, and we're really enjoying it. Excited to get back on the road. We've already charged up enough to get moving again, so I'm going to capture some B-roll and get us moving. I apologize for the wind noise in this shot, but we're in a very windy parking lot in Jamestown, North Dakota, just across the highway from the Buffalo Museum and in the parking lot of the Buffalo Mall. As the charging network is being built out across North Dakota, each stop seems to be about 100 miles away from each other. So depending on your range, time of year, all that kind of stuff, you could choose to skip one and charge longer if you're having a meal or something, or just skip from one to the next like we are here today. Now, because these chargers are brand new, there's been a lot of interest. When we pulled up, 2 kids came running across the parking lot to ask me some questions about the car, and just as I finished up with them, folks in a truck stopped by and were asking some questions. They seem to know a little bit about Tesla already, so just had some specific questions about the car, charging times, and things like that. It's great to talk with people. It's great to see the enthusiasm in a place that's just now getting chargers. So hopefully that means a lot of growth in the coming years. But we're about charged up and ready to roll, and rather than have an impatient family, we're going to get moving. Hi, I'm coming to you from the non-functional Bismarck Supercharger. It's going to be a 250 kilowatt supercharger, 8-stall, version 3 supercharger, but it just hasn't been energized quite yet. I was going to come to you from my hotel. The Best Western here in Bismarck has 2 Clipper Creek charging ports, but a couple guys were hanging out at the tailgate of their truck, having a few beers on a Friday night, and I thought, let's not open a can of worms and drag the camera out in front of all that. But the hotel is nice. The 2 chargers seem to work fine. I'll be charging up overnight. We charged a little bit this afternoon, but they aren't activated automatically. So you have to be a guest of the hotel and they'll come and unlock them for you. Or I was told on the phone that if you're just passing through, you can go to the desk, pay $10 for however long you need to be there to charge, and they'll come and unlock it for you. When I made my reservation, I mentioned that I'd be using the charging stations there, so they had that on my notice when I checked in, and so made sure that a spot was open for me. So very pleasantly surprised about that. We had a good day today. Left home at about 8:45, 45 minutes later than I wanted to, but for a family road trip, that's pretty good. We actually got here to Bismarck at 6:30, so much faster than I was expecting, with diaper changes, potty breaks, all that kind of stuff. I expected it would take 12 hours, even though if you straight shot it in a gas car, you can do it in 8. But I was planning for 12, just thinking it's going to take a long time. So surprised that we got here early after leaving late, and we really had a leisurely time. We stopped at a couple places, did a little bit of sightseeing along the way, and really was a pleasant day of driving. So that's all I have for tonight. Might get a little B-roll of what's going on in the parking lot if it's appropriate when I get back to the hotel. But so far it's been a great day of travel, almost the perfect road trip so far. So I'll catch you tomorrow morning for the next leg of the trip on what should be a very exciting day. Morning. It is Saturday morning. We're just driving west of Bismarck and saw the pull-off to come see Salem Sioux. So we just had a little hike and are at the top of the hill here, able to look out across North Dakota. And you want to come down to Dad? Hi. And we are gonna continue west here pretty quick, but we got rolling from the hotel at about 8:30 this morning, and it's a beautiful day, just a great day to be out exploring the countryside. As we were pulling up here, there was a beautiful doe a deer right in the entryway to come see Salem Sioux, and I pulled the GoPro out, tracked the deer perfectly, and then realized I didn't have it recording. So classic. Before we get too muddy here, down here, we're gonna take off and continue west and see more exciting stuff. Catch you later. Hello again, we are in Dickinson and just stopped to plug in for a few minutes, hit the restroom at the Cashwide's Foods and do some flipping. And we are going to head over to Theodore Roosevelt National Park. So that's only about 30 minutes away, so great location for a supercharger. There's a coffee shop and Qdoba and Jimmy John's right next to the charger too, so that'll be really great location. But we don't need to be here long, so I'm gonna head out and we'll see you in the national park. After our morning hike in Painted Canyon, we returned to Dickinson for lunch and some charging, so Ellie and Joan could go back to the park and explore while I stayed at the mall. As the girls left, the Chargers overflowed with Teslas from North Dakota, Minnesota, Florida, and Arizona. It was a great gathering of owners, enthusiasts, and curious passers-by. A little after 2 p.m., they held the ribbon-cutting ceremony, followed by a reception hosted in the mall, where the conversation and camaraderie continued. Everyone was so excited. Well, almost everyone. But it was an incredible afternoon and event, and I'm so glad we made the trip. As the gathering dispersed, another owner was telling me how much more secluded and beautiful the northern section of Theodore Roosevelt National Park was. When Ellie and Joan returned, we had dinner and charged some more. Even though we knew it would add hours to an already full day, we decided to drive back to the park and up to the northern section to try and catch the sunset and maybe see some buffalo. The extra hours had been worth it. Being so close to the solstice, the sunset lasted forever, and to see the bison and bighorn sheep up close was magnificent and intense. The bighorn sheep first caught our eye as they chased either a bobcat or coyote away from their group and toward the cliffs. We didn't get a great look at what it was, but something around that size, and unfortunately the cameras weren't rolling. But finally, night fell as we left the park. We were avid bug collectors driving back to Dickinson. By the time we got there, it was between midnight and 1 a.m. We stopped for a charge at the closed mall. The day had been fantastic, but too much for a very overtired little girl. So we paced around the parking lot, singing calming songs while we charged. Before long, we were back on the road to Bismarck and arrived at our hotel around 2:30 a.m. Checkout the next morning was at 11 o'clock, and we used every minute of it. Hello and welcome to the brand new Bismarck, North Dakota 8-stall 250 kilowatt supercharger. This is a new version 3 supercharger that just came online in June of 2020. Now it's time to head on home and enjoy these chargers on the way back east. We stopped in Jamestown and had a late lunch while I did a supercharger review, then took a little walk through the mall and used the restroom there. One fun note is that as the superchargers sit, when you park your car, you're looking right into a Ford dealership parking lot. Looks like they have some Dodge and other things there too, but it'd be interesting to see if they have any Mach-E's coming up here. I don't have time to ask about that on this trip. Another quick stop in Fargo, enough time for me to record, hit the restrooms, a diaper change, then back on the road. Alexandria was another quick pit stop. Joan was pretty sick of so many hours in the car, so a stretch and a new distraction was needed. We are back at Clearwater, Minnesota. We're just doing a top-off charge here, more of a bathroom break than anything, but always good to get a few more miles to ensure we're good to go on our way home. So looks like Mom's turn is done. Now it's mine, and we're going to be on the move pretty quick. I think there are a couple weary road dogs who want to go home. Are you guys ready to go home and sleep in our own beds tonight?
Stop bothering me. You ready to go home? I really wish. I wish you'd go away.
So we made it home about 8 p.m., which was a lot earlier than I expected. The plan had been to leave earlier and then do some sightseeing along the way, just to break the trip up a little more for Joan, but we kind of threw that out the window. We decided to just push through. Still got back home at 8 p.m. with 30% charge, so we could have even gone faster than we did, but really, I'm very happy with how the trip went. We saw some amazing sights, met some great people. It's going to take a couple days to clean out the car. I'm going to go wash it right now. But thanks for coming along on this adventure with us. North Dakota is a beautiful state. We just scratched the surface, but just seeing what we saw makes me want to go back really soon. If you get the chance, check out those chargers, visit North Dakota, and enjoy. Other than this trip, you should be seeing more specific videos about different elements about the North Dakota experience on specific topics. So look for those. Again, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I appreciate your time. Happy road tripping.